Hey everyone, it's finally here. I'm finally sharing my whole perfume collection, and not only that, I'm going to be starting a perfume project pan for 2025. While I do love most of these fragrances very much, I want to get through as many fragrances as I can this year. Last year, I really focused on my body mists and I got through so many of them, at least 50, but maybe even 60. So this year I'm going to try to tackle my perfumes. I do have a couple goals in mind with my perfumes, but let me just start sharing these fragrances. I'm going to start on this side and work my way over, and I will say I have a lot of dupe fragrances. Starting with these two, if you are familiar with the bottle, you probably know what this is trying to dupe. This is actually supposed to be a Jean Paul Gaultier dupe. These both look like Scandal dupes to me. I'm not sure which two out of the three Scandal fragrances these are supposed to be. This one did come with some broken feet, but they have the same design and they definitely smell really beautiful, and these are super long lasting projectors. First off, we have the G for Women Sexy Night, and this one has such an incensey smell. I only have like a third of the bottle left on this one. I would like to finish this one, but I know I'm gonna miss it. It smells amazing. It just smells like deep fruits, incense, woodsiness, maybe some amber. Just so good. The next one I've always felt smells a little bit baccarat, but not exactly. It also has that incensey smell, but with the lighter, more baccarat notes, if that makes any sense. This one is a little less than half full, but another one that is on my list as one that I would probably be okay with using up, even though I absolutely love the bottle. And this one is the G for Women Sexy Paris. I have the Paris and the Night version of this. I do have the Bath and Body Works Luminous perfume. I absolutely love the way this looks, and this has such a classy, sophisticated, classic perfume style. It's just so different from anything that Bath and Body Works offers. I had to have it in the full-size perfume. It's just so elegant, and some people thought it was kind of grandma-y, but I absolutely loved it, and I think the bottle is also absolutely beautiful with the garnet gem style top and bottle shape. I have my Sniff perfumes. I have Dead Dinosaur and Slice Society. These are supposed to be like novelty niche style perfumes. This one actually has a gasoline note. This one is supposed to be an ode to a pizza fragrance. So these are kind of interesting fragrances. I do absolutely love them both. They're both very peculiar though, and they aren't very practical. These are ones I more like to wear around the house, or this one even more outside in the summertime. But yeah, these ones I don't really see myself finishing up right away, but I like owning them. I think they're fun, and I do have videos like describing these a little bit better. For the sake of time, I'm going to try to put all the videos that are related to these perfumes that I'm showing down in the description in case you'd like to binge those out. Some of these I won't be going into such a intense fragrance description just for the sake of time, but this one has a gasoline note. It's not all there is to it. There's a little bit of a pink pepperiness to it, and this one has mostly a bready note upon everything else that's in there. That's what you get the most of. So that is these two, but again, links will be down below in case you want to check out more in-depth perfume reviews on a lot of these fragrances. Like this next one I only did a short for, but it is a really beautiful fragrance. It's not one of my ultra favorites in my collection, to be honest, but I absolutely love the packaging on a lot of Lattafa's fragrances, and this was my first Lattafa. I really think it is just so beautiful. I'm such a sucker for packaging sometimes, but it is a really beautiful fragrance. Again, just not one of my very favorites. I've only pulled for it a few times, even though when I first got it, I really liked it. I feel like over time, the fragrances have melded a lot more, and it's a lot harder to describe. The tropical notes are there. There's a caramely note, but it's kind of hard to place, and it doesn't always smell my favorite on me. I don't know why, but I do really like it. It's just one of those weird ones in my collection. One that I absolutely adore that was given to me by a friend was this Jo Malone body mist. I like to keep it in my perfume collection because it is more on that side as far as lasting power. This one also is in a glass bottle where all of my other body mists are not. Those are all plastic bottles, and that's kind of how I keep things separated. But this one is the Catalea Flower body mist. This one only came out for 1 year. I think it was 2017 or 2018, but this was like a limited edition launch. but mostly it smells like green tea and I absolutely adore it. Like, it is just so good. And of course, the packaging is absolutely adorable. So yeah, I treasure this fragrance and wouldn't want to be without it. I use it very sparingly. Oh, mini declutter here. This is one that I absolutely do not love. This one has a very synthetic lavender oily type of smell. If I want to smell like lavender oil, I'll just wear lavender oil. And so yeah, I really don't love this. Packaging is really cute, but I'm not going to keep it for that. I just cannot stand this one. This one is the Beekman Lavender. I did get a couple other fragrances from them that I did like. Again, links down below, but this one just isn't it. I've got to get rid of this one. I did already declutter one fragrance. I ended up sending it to my mom because I feel like it's a fragrance she will like. I really liked it in the bottle, but it goes weird on me. Like, I don't know, certain fragrances do that, and that's okay. I have plenty of fragrances. I think that's all the decluttering I'll be doing because I'm going to be using these up. Another one I got from Beekman that is also in a similar style flanker is the Vanilla Absolute. Now, this one is also a really intense vanilla extract fragrance, but I feel like this one could be layerable with other vanillas or other gourmand fragrances, so I'm going to try to give this one a try because I do really like it. It's just really deep and intense. It's like super vanilla extract style, which I feel like would be really good mixed with something. Maybe even my pizza fragrance that smells super bready. It might be really good with this. I don't know. I haven't really experimented with much fragrance layering with my perfumes, as I do love 99.9% of them on their own. So yeah, this one, I just feel like it would be better layered. Unless you're like really searching for that vanilla extract fragrance, then this one is perfect. I was looking for a really true pure vanilla, but not necessarily vanilla extract. That's just a little bit deeper than what I was looking for. The next one I have here is Queen of Seduction, Lively Muse. This is such a beautiful, sweet pink floral fragrance. I really wasn't a floral girly until the past couple years. I started dabbling in florals and I started liking certain ones. This one is really beautiful and I am already maybe 2/3 of the way through this bottle. A lot of my perfumes are either super new or have pretty good dents, and this is one of those pretty good dents. This one I could see myself using up. I do have other florals in my collection that I really like, but this may be one that I miss. The next one I have is actually the Ariana Grande Cloud dupe from Five Below. While this is very different to me than the original, I prefer this one. It is really beautiful, of course, and yeah, this is one that I haven't really used much though. The next one is another Ariana Grande perfume dupe. This one is the Sweet as Candy dupe, and this one, again, I prefer it over the original. This is very different. This one is called Cotton Candy, even though it doesn't smell like cotton candy or the Ariana Grande perfume, but I do absolutely love it. It's honestly one of my all-time favorites in my collection. It's one I've thought about getting backups of, but I want to get through a couple of these other ones first. This one just happens to be one that I don't really use often because I don't want to be without it, and I don't know if they're ever going to discontinue it. I'm sure they will eventually, and right now I'm just trying to savor this one. The next two are Bath & Body Works perfumes. I have Wild Sand and Endless Sea. These two kind of launched together as a layerable pairing, and while they are beautiful together, I absolutely love them on their own. They're some of the most unique fragrances in my collection. I have gone through multiple body mists of both of these fragrances and still have one of each of those, and I do have some Endless Sea products and some other things. But I really love these fragrances. I do miss them very much, and I started allowing myself to use the Wild Sand perfume in my project Use It Up that I did start for this year, but this is going to be the only perfume I have in that project. I just kind of wanted to sneak one in before I got this project going because I knew it would take me a minute before I could get this video up. And then I also have the Endless Sea, which I also haven't really used at all. So this one I'm kind of eyeballing for later in the year. It is a really bright, fresh one, super aquatic, really refreshing for summertime. Whereas this is kind of a warm one, and this one is more transporting me to a vacation land for winter, so I'm really liking this one right now. So that brings me to one of my all-time favorite classic fragrances. This is Yatisse by Givenchy. This one is beautiful as a fragrance. It's beautiful in the bottle. It's another one, some people call it kind of grandma-y because it is very classic. But I absolutely love the way it smells, especially on me, and I love the bottle as well. So I do have the full size that is pretty much almost empty. We're down to like the last quarter of the bottle on this. And then I have the little mini, which is perfect for your purse or travel. This one only has like a third left as well, so not much left in either of these. I do absolutely love them. And I do have a full-size mini here as well. So a little backup on my purse bottle. Another one I don't really wear often because I don't feel like replacing it, but that may change through this project. We shall see. Absolutely love the little packaging though. And since we're talking minis, I do have the Miss Dior. I also have the package just because I thought it was so cute and I just set it on top. But this is just the mini with the little bow. I mostly keep my minis for travel, but haven't been doing that as much this past year, and I'm more willing to just decant a bottle if I need to for travel rather than just holding on to all of my minis and samples, but it is absolutely adorable up here on the fragrance stand. I also have a tiny mini of Magritte by Carven. This is another really old school one that I just really like, but I use it really sparingly because I do only have this little bottle. I also have the Versace Blue Perfume. This one, it goes a little bit like a cleaning product on me. It smells really nice in the bottle, but it turns a little strange on me. It's not my exact favorite, but it is a really fresh and bright one. I do really like it in summer, but that's about the only time I use this one. I think this might be in a little roller ball. It is so cute. And then I also have a mini Skylar here. This is Pink Canyon. There are a few of their fragrances that I've been eyeballing for quite some time, but haven't really been allowing myself because again, I'm focused on using up right now, but this is another little rollerball or small travel perfume. Next up, we have the Nicole Miller perfumes. That's where both of these boxes came from, and then the top one and the one down in this corner are both from the English Laundry Coffret sets. So I did buy some 4-piece fragrance sets, one of them being the Nicole Miller fragrances. These are the two that I went through the quickest. I have the Cyrene here, and then I have the Nectar de Peach. This one definitely smells like a fresh, crisp, juicy peach with some like bright, airy notes. This one, it kind of reminds me of Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue, but only a little bit. It doesn't like really remind me of it like it's like a dupe or anything, but it just kind of gives the same vibe. So I do really, really like this one, and I'm almost through both of these. I would say I have about a third left of this one and a quarter left on this one. So these two are contenders for super quick use-ups. They're just so yummy. They're both ones that I've kind of been holding on to because yes, I would love to have a full size of both of those fragrances. But again, I've got to get through some of these. I also have Mystique and L'Eau de Vie, which is another really beautiful one. This one has kind of a strawberry-ish note to me. Really nice. I've gone through about a third of this one. The next one also, I've gone about through a third of this one. This one is Mystique, and this one I think kind of reminds me of something. This one, again, it's not super close, but it has the same vibe as Dior's Poison, which is an old school fragrance that I just absolutely love and would love to get back into my collection. I used to have multiple bottles. Unfortunately, when you lose everything, you lose everything. But this kind of reminds me of that fragrance, and I really like it. It's a very deep, mysterious, kind of noir fragrance, but there's something else going on, kind of fruity, maybe vanilla-y, but not really. Like, I don't know, there's a sweetness there, maybe not vanilla. Maybe it comes from a floral, but it's just so mysterious and good. So yeah, I love all of my Nicole Miller perfumes, and I don't know, they might be repurchases in the future. Another perfect fragrance that is definitely an older one, and some people may call it a grandma fragrance. I feel like anything that is older than the 90s, everybody just says it's a grandma fragrance, but the reality is this is a beautiful florally fragrance, and I love it for winter and spring, especially during the transitional months. It's so gorgeous. Again, in the fall to winter, kind of cool and crisp months, I just feel like this is so good. And this one is Chantilly. I forgot a little mini on the upper deck. This is the Coach Rose perfume that came out not too long ago. I love this one. It's another one I haven't really touched much yet. I have used it a couple times. I've used maybe a quarter of the bottle as it is a pretty small bottle, but it's another one that maybe a repurchase in the future, but it's another one that's kind of like, I should just use it up. It really would be nice to just throw it in my purse and use it when I am out and about. But yeah, super cute. Love the packaging. And yeah, another little mini that I just keep on the box in my collection. One that's a little bit older of a fragrance, but not like a grandma fragrance. This one is the Vera Wang Princess. This one, I just loved it for so many years and I wanted it so badly. So by the time I got my own money, I wanted this, and by the time I got my own money, I didn't like it as much as I used to. I used to love powdery fragrances. I don't love that fragrance anymore. So this is one that I have kind of been wearing to get through it, and I've been through like a third of the bottle. However, I love looking at this bottle in my collection. I love the little crown, and I'm kind of tempted to try other fragrances from this line. I do really love Vera Wang products. Like their fragrances, I remember them launching a 4-piece fragrance collection back in like, 2016 or something, but I liked every single one, and that was the first fragrance collection that I liked every single one. So it stuck in my head that they have a good fragrance department, and really this one just happens to be one I don't really love anymore, but it does pair really nicely with other things. It is a really nice sweet powdery fragrance. Just not into powderies anymore. I do have another Jean Paul Gaultier dupe. This one is probably another giveaway tell from the bottle, but this one is supposed to be La Belle, which is kind of that fragrance house's version of Baccarat Rouge. Like I really feel like this smells so much like it to me. It's one of the reasons I went through this one so quickly, somewhere between 25 and 30% left in this bottle. I absolutely love it. And it's another one that I'm not rushing to use up just because I love the bottle. But the reality is I need to just get through my perfumes. It's okay. It's just so beautiful. I love the way it fits in the hands. I love the way it smells. It's one of my favorite Baccarat dupes so far. I don't know. It's one that if I really want it again in the future, I can just repurchase it. Same with the next one. This is a Five Below dupe, so there's really no reason I need to hold on to it. I have been using it a lot more lately, and that's why it has the fill line that it does. I'm almost halfway through this one, a little over a third of the way through this one. I'm like maybe 35 or 40% through this one, but I really, really like it. And it's one of the only ones in my collection that has a powdery fragrance that I like and can tolerate pretty well. It layers pretty well, and it gives a really nice sweetness that lasts for a long time. The powdery does go away, so I do really like it. I think this one is supposed to do, I have a picture in my mind as to what it is, but I can't put my finger on it. I don't know. The name is just slipping me, but this is Pink Candy. Smells super sweet. I don't know. I just really have been liking it. So I'm going to let myself go ahead and finish this one up since I pretty much been zooming through it. And the point of the project is to use up the perfumes. And again, if I want something again in the future, I can always repurchase. The next two I have here are Macari perfumes. I have Macari number 2 and Macari number 3. I have the Royal Rose, which is number 2, and I have Royal Oud, which is number 3. Royal 1 has since been discontinued, and I'd love to get my hands on it. But again, trying to use them up. These are pretty full. I did recently get these fragrances, so yeah, I don't see myself using them up anytime soon because they're full size and full, but they are beautiful and I love them both very much. They definitely have a really nice luxury exquisite type of smell, and yeah, love these. I do have a full size Beekman fragrance, and I'm glad I chose this one. This one is the Orange Blossom. This has such a bright, fresh, crisp, fruity, juicy, citrusy, zesty type of fragrance, and it's kind of inviting. I don't know, I love it. So yeah, I've got this one that is brand new and very full. I've got another Ariana Grande dupe here. This one is the Thank You Next dupe. This one's called Broken Love by Adriana. This one is definitely my favorite out of the Ariana Grande dupes by Five Below. This one I'm like a third through the bottle already, and I did also have the God is a Woman dupe, the Adriana Goddess, but I finished that one last year. But this has a very specific fragrance that I absolutely love, so I'm not rushing to get through it, but again, it's another one I could probably just repurchase. If you're wondering what the tubware is up front, this is a huge Black Friday haul that I still have yet to post from Dirty Soul Soap Co. So you can definitely be on the lookout for that. I'm not going to go through this. This is 35 fragrances. It's like a long one. So just stay tuned for that. It is coming. Ooh, one of my favorites in my collection that I'm a little over halfway through is the Jimmy Choo. Oh my gosh, I'm in love with this fragrance. And when I want something that smells super clean and crisp, but kind of sassy, this is it. Like, I love and adore this fragrance. It will definitely be a repurchase. I don't want to be without this one. It's just so good. I also have this Infinite Beauty Girl Next Door. This looks an awful lot like the Bombshell by Victoria's Secret, and while I don't really remember what that one smells like, this smells so good. It's like a floral, sweet, girly, inviting, perfumey fragrance. It's so good. I got it from TJ Maxx for 15 bucks. I used it a few times, And then the nozzle broke. So I'm gonna have to decant this one, but it's one I look forward to using up because I can't use it in this bottle, so I've got to bust her open and get through it. It smells so good though. Really a heavy bottle on this one. I have the Way Melrose Place fragrance. This is one of the first rosy type scents that got me going on the rosy fragrance. I never really was a rosy girly. I've always been really specific about the type of rose that I like, specifically like a tea rose smell, but this one kind of changed the game for me. It's just like a super crisp, clean type of rose, and I love it. I haven't really used too much out of this one, but it's one I need to pull for more because I absolutely love this fragrance. It just does not get as much attention as it deserves. Maybe because it's hidden back behind everything else. I also have this Olivia Blake Tangerine and Patchouli fragrance. I also got this one from TJ Maxx, and it looks an awful lot like a Jo Malone labeling. So I thought maybe they'll have similar fragrances. Oh my gosh, they do, and they're so good. So good. Every fragrance I tried from her, I wanted them all, but I had to pick one out of like 3 or 4 fragrances, and this was the one that really got me. It is super juicy and citrusy, and I'm not even really a citrusy girly. Like, I really love the way it pairs with the patchouli though. Patchouli, that's my jam. And the way this pairs, it's really inviting. It's warm, but it's woody, and it's deep, and it's bright at the same time, and it's just so good. Mind blown with this one. I have been reaching for it a little bit. I haven't used too much of this one, but it does have a decent dent in the bottle. This next one is one of my very favorites in my collection. This one is Better Rouge, which is of course a Baccarat dupe. I love the packaging on this one, and this one just has the best fragrance chemistry with me, and I just love it so much. It projects so strongly, and it's my favorite. It's one of my very favorites in my collection, and I'm already really wanting to buy a backup of it because I'm getting really low. I only have like 20% of this bottle left. If you can hear my neighbor vacuuming, that's happening right now. But yeah, this next one is Sapil's Finesse. The lid was missing when I bought it, but I got it at a really great price, and I absolutely love it. This is one of the strongest, most intense, clean, soapy fragrances I've ever smelled in my life. And I actually like it. Like, it's overwhelming, and that's for somebody who wants the strongest scent in the room. Like, I don't care. I want my fragrance to project. And I'm asthmatic, y'all. Like, I like a strong fragrance. Like, I like the beasts. But even this one, it's just so strong, even for me. And I've never said that. Like, this is just dang. So yeah, this one, I don't reach for it very often because it is just like, boom, I'm here, I'm clean, hello. It's so loud and clean and soapy, but it has a little bit of an interesting undertone to it. You see, I have used a little bit out of this bottle, but again, it's not one I pull for very often. Like, this is a very demanding fragrance. I do have another Lattafa fragrance. This one's more unisex. This one Matt got in a 2-pack. He got the black one, I got the white one, and this one is right up my alley. I've really been loving milky, like fruity, but lactonic mostly. I've really been liking those milky type of fragrances. And this one is the Kate Alferson White. So this one has like a sweet, milky, I think the black one has pineapple. I don't know if this one does. But to me, it smells like a spiced cologned milk. It's so good. I also have this unisex fragrance by Baroness X. This is another fragrance dupe. This is actually by a small indie brand, and this one is called Blue Morpho. It came out in a pre-order. This one is actually supposed to dupe Byredo Oud Immortelle. So this one is definitely a really nice, clean, woody type of fragrance. I absolutely adore this one. It's a little bit spicy, but super crisp and fresh. Next up is Instinctive Spur of the Moment. This one's kind of an elusive fragrance. It's hard to find, so I'm not super quick to use it up or anything. It is, again, more of a unisex fragrance. It's kind of spicy, kind of woody, but super fresh and very distinct. I don't know, there's something very interesting about this one, but yeah, this one is one that is a rather large fragrance, and I haven't used very much of it. I am the second owner, and I do hear a lot of empty spaces, so I would say it's maybe half full. The next one's actually a Bath & Body Works cologne that I find very sweet and yummy. This one is the Coffee and Whiskey, and there's just something about this one. It's got this like vanilla ambery type of undertone that just feels so warm and inviting, and I personally find it kind of unisex. So I grabbed this one and I really like it. I don't wear it often, but I love the way it smells. I do have a couple true colognes here. This one is the Smooth Amber by Bath & Body Works. This one just smells like a super sweet, deep, musky, warm, woodsy ambery men's cologne. I do really, really love it. Another one, I don't wear it often, but I just love the way it smells. Same with this next one. This is my only fragrance by Alt, but I do really love how long this one lasts. This one is Stallion number 11, which is another men's fragrance, but I love the way it smells. This is supposed to dupe Perfume de Marly's Leighton, and a lot of people say that it is very close. While I haven't smelled the original, I absolutely love this, and it's super interesting as a fragrance. So hard to describe. It's just green and fresh and bright and spicy and kind of herbaceous. It's just really hard to describe. It's super easy to love. Another one I don't wear often, does have a little bit of a fill line, and I just really like this one. The next one is my Diesel, Only the Brave men's fragrance dupe, and this one's just a very spicy, aquatic type of fragrance. Something about it I really like, and I have used most of this fragrance. I have maybe a quarter left. We're down to like the last 2 fingers of fragrance on this one. Next up, I've got this little pocket perfume I got out in Montana. This one is a huckleberry scented solid perfume or solid perfume beeswax balm kind of deal, and it smells of huckleberry. Next up is Rogue by Rihanna. This is such a unique fragrance. It is all pink peppercorn. Like, that's what stands out to me, and this is just such a demanding, interesting, distinct type of fragrance. I don't use it often, but I kind of feel like this smells a little bit like Dead Dinosaur by Sniff. It just has that pink peppercorn note that is super, super noticeable. Next up, I have a mini of Radiance by Britney Spears. I have loved multiple fragrances of hers throughout the years, and I got myself on a mini of this a couple years back and really love the way it smells. I do absolutely love the gem bottle too. Super cute. I'm like a third through this bottle. It's another one I had kind of been holding on to for travel's sake, but I'm going to stop doing that and I'm going to start using my fragrances. Now you can see the English Laundry box, but here are the 3 English Laundry perfumes that I still have from that conference set. It was another 4-piece set. I did finish one of them last year, and you can see all of my perfume empties. I will leave those down in the description for you. But I have Oxford Blue Femme. I love the way this smells. It's super hard to describe, and it's going to be the weirdest fragrance review you've ever heard, but this reminds me so much of the Gain Apple Mango Tango laundry detergent, and in the best way. That is my favorite laundry detergent. That's the good laundry detergent in my eyes. And I don't buy that often. I don't wear this often because it just smells so good, and I don't see myself finding anything else that smells like it. Again, in the future, it's one I can just repurchase, but right now I want to get through some perfumes. Next up is the English Laundry fragrance. This is like their signature fragrance. This is a very sweet powdery one. It definitely reminds me of this one. It is another more powdery one in my collection that is more palatable. I've gone through about a third of this one. It's one that I don't really pull for often though, but it does smell pretty nice. Even though it's a fragrance note that I'm not really super attracted to anymore, they blended it really well and it is wearable. If you like powdery sweet fragrances, that is it. It's so nice for that fragrance category. And then I also have the Abbey by English Laundry. This one may be a Burberry dupe, honestly. With the packaging and the way that it smells, it's very similar and reminds me of one of the Burberry fragrances. I don't remember which one off the top of my head, honestly, but this one is really beautiful. It's one of my favorites out of the 4, and I've kind of just been savoring it. Another one I've been like maybe a third through the bottle. I probably am on the blue one as well, but I did finish one of these last year. Just a few more left here. I have the Good Sense No Bad Days. This is one that I have absolutely fallen for and would love to have another one of. I'm almost through it. I've got just a little bit left. This one has fragrance notes of honeydew melon, wild daisy, cucumber dew, water lily, peach candy, sugar crystal, and sheer musk. It's just so freaking beautiful, and the melon note is everything. It's so juicy and bright and yummy and candy-like, so I absolutely love this one. They say that it is mostly wild daisy and peach candy, but I mostly get melon. I love this one. And what, I have like a 1/6 of the bottle left, an 1/8 of the bottle left. I don't know. I have just a teeny bit left, and yeah, I'm just gonna finish her, and if it's meant to be, then I'll get another bottle. And I keep saying that because the goal is I'd like to do 2 or 3 of these out before I bring a new one in, type of thing. I'd like to use up as many as possible so that when I want to purchase a fragrance, it's not overwhelming with what I already have, because there are 10 fragrances or so that I'm eyeballing and love to have, but not at the current state of things. The next one I have here is the Brooks Brother perfume. This is like a pink floral, really nice, inviting, clean, crisp type of floral. I absolutely adore this one. It's one that I'm kind of savoring, and I'm a little over halfway through this one. The next one is the Viva Las Vegas Night, which is a Viva La Juicy dupe of some sort. This just smells so rich, fresh, deep, like luxurious, but like a going out type of smell. It's really hard to describe because it's got like a deeper, more mysterious type of floral, but it's still like a pink floral. I don't know. I love it so much. And I only have like a third left in the bottle, but this is another Five Below dupe, so another attainable one if I do finish it and end up missing it. And last but not least, I have Dolce & Gabbana's L'Imperatrice, which is a gorgeous fragrance, another really interesting one. I believe this has a tart rhubarb note in there. It smells kind of fruity, but that tart hint kind of throws it off. There's something different, you know? I just don't think rhubarb is used very often, and that's just what I get the most of in this fragrance. It is like a fruity floral, but that hint of tart green, herbaceous note just really hits me, and I love it so much. I am a little over halfway through this one as well, but that's one that I don't want to have to repurchase anytime soon. So there are certain fragrances in here that I'm kind of letting them slowly just sit here. But a lot of the little ones I would really like to get used up, as well as some of the larger ones I'm just holding on to. Again, I would like to impose a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 ratio as far as ins to outs with this collection. If I use up 2 or 3 bottles, then maybe I'll allow myself to get one, but I would like to try to hold out until maybe Black Friday to see if I even still want any of the fragrances that are on the list. But that's kind of my goal for this year. I'd like to get through as many of these fragrances as possible. I'd like to reduce my collection, and if I could get the boxes out of here, like reduce my collection enough to where I could get rid of the boxes, I would feel a lot better about my collection. I just feel like it's getting a little overkill. Like, I probably have 50 bottles or so, and it just seems like a lot to me. I'd like to get it more down to 20, 25, somewhere like half of this collection. But that has been my perfume project pan intro. I know it was a long one because I was showing my whole collection. It's kind of a 2 videos in one. I've been waiting to show you my collection for far too long, and it's time I start getting through some of these. But if you have any similar goals this year, I would love to hear about it down in the comments, and I hope to see you in the next one. Until next time, friends, thanks so much for hanging with me.